center of Tropical Storm Humberto is just off the northern Bahamas, the area that was destroyed really by Hurricane Dorian. Thankfully, this storm will not be doing the same. It's got winds of only 40 miles per hour, pressure of 1004 millibars, and as you can see on that satellite image, a lot of the raininess is away from land, at least at the moment. The CDPS for Marsh Harbour right now shows this, very low amounts. Stage 1 winds aren't going to be really a huge issue, but there could be tropical storm force winds briefly for the Abaco island. And this is a look at the wind field there right now as well. 26.5 north, 76.5 degrees west. That's the latest at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's September 14th. It's 35 miles from Marsh Harbour, which will probably receive tropical storm force winds, as said, for a few more hours. 132 miles from Freeport, 218 from West Palm Beach, Florida, 240 from Fort Pierce, and 328 from Orlando. Well, a tropical storm warning does remain in effect for the northwestern Bahamas, excluding Andros Island at this point. You can see where the storm center is in association with those islands. It's very close to the coast there, just off towards the east. It will pull away soon. Looking at expected rainfall in the next 5 days, for the northernmost Bahamas, we're expecting maybe 2 inches of rain to fall over the area at the worst case. Most of the heaviest of the rain will fall to the north and to the northeast of those islands, thankfully. You can see that trail though the next few days. Small amounts of rain could fall along the US east coast, but really the storm is going to be heading towards Bermuda, which it will pass just towards the north, we expect. Sea surface temperatures very warm ahead of the storm, 27 or 28 degrees Celsius. It's going to intensify quite significantly therefore, and this is a look at the wind forecast over the next few days as well for Humberto. This is going into the early part of next week. Tropical storm force winds will develop into a hurricane, most likely, we expect, as it moves towards the east-northeast and eventually get very close to Bermuda, where it could strike with hurricane force winds. That's something we've got to watch out for significantly over the next 5 days. There it is, Thursday. That's the GFS model run solution, and by the end of the week it will move well off towards the open Atlantic. Chance of tropical storm force winds look like this: 81% at Marsh Harbour, 43% at Freeport, 20% at West Palm Beach, 29% at Melbourne, and 46% already in Bermuda. So certainly be watching out there on that island. What the model's saying? Well, here is the intensity forecast, pretty much all on board with Humberto becoming a hurricane at some point during its life, mainly later on, but some of the more bullish models like the HWRF think it might be within 2 or 3 days. Wind shear will start to increase, interestingly, so that's one thing that's going against the storm. Sea surface temperatures remaining good, relative humidity fairly average, and you can see the track forecasts there, Bermuda very much within the crosshairs of a potential storm track from Humberto. So here it is today on the satellite imagery. You can see a lot of convection blowing up on the eastern side, just to the north of the center as well, which is exposed at this time. You can see it there on those latest images on that visible just gone, of the center of the storm just passing to the east of Abaco. And thankfully at the moment there aren't any significant rain showers occurring over the northernmost Bahamas. You can see particularly on this water vapor loop, just where all of that rainfall is falling, mainly much further south, places like Long Island and some of those other islands further south. But generally this storm could still deliver tropical storm force winds to those areas that were severely impacted by Dorian, and we hope for the best in those locations that it doesn't hamper the recovery efforts. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month: You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colours wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.